Hi, everybody, and welcome to Power on the Hour. Something we're giving back as we go through our unbelievable Harary campaign, which has taken off to a complete flyer. Now, we're really excited to have someone really special with us. And this is the best way I can describe him. When it's cold outside, we all have two choices. Either we can wear a coat or we can light a fire. You see, the thing is, if we wear a coat, it will just keep us warm. But if we light a fire, so many people will be able to enjoy its glow. Mr. Charlie Harary, that we're so blessed to have with us today, is the kind of person who lights fires everywhere he goes. Every snippet of inspiration that I've been following, and I'm sure many of us have been following for many years, is just warmth and glow. Now, is Charlie here with us? Do we have Charlie in the studio? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, Charlie. Now, just before I let you do your thing, Charlie, what's the time there where you in America? What's the time by you?
It's 3 o'clock.
Okay, so a little bit earlier than all of us. You still get to eat your dinner.
Exactly.
Just before I let you get into your thing, the organizers have asked me to throw at you just a couple of quick fire questions. I hope that's okay. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Go for it.
So here we go. 2 quick fire questions. Number 1, what is the first thing you plan to do as soon as lockdown ends?
Go back to shul, and we got all these groups of guys in shul that learn together and grow together, and I haven't seen these guys in a long time. So my first thing I plan to do is get back with the boys and grow and learn and study and beat each other up and hug it out and all the fun stuff that we did beforehand.
Yeah, I think there's many of us probably watching who can relate to that. It's been a rough ride so far.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, how come you always seem so upbeat? Now, this is something I'm personally interested in. And when you have a downer, if Charlie Harary does have downers, what do you do for a pick-me-up?
So I appreciate the kind words. I don't see it that way. I don't see myself any more upbeat than other people. Whenever I do have a downer, I honestly try to put myself in a position where you have to be upbeat. So whenever things are down, you want to be focused on the responsibility of either as a parent or maybe doing something like this, or as a husband, just trying to recognize that regardless of how you feel, there's somebody outside you that may need you to be more upbeat. And so as a result, you are, so to speak, forced to put up to think of it, and then once you get into it for somebody else, it applies to yourself. I had a Rebbe that once said that your face is public domain. Your heart belongs to you, but your face belongs to somebody else. And when you think of it like that, that you can be thinking anything you want, but your face doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the world. And how you look and how you act is impacting people. So once you put that perspective in, and you just even put your foot forward, even if you don't feel it, it ends up seeping in and you end up feeling better afterwards.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And let me not interrupt you any further. Charlie, please, I'm so excited to hear what you have to share. Please do your thing. Thank you.
Rabbi, thank you so much for this, and thank you to this entire organization. This is like sort of mixed feelings. I got my notice from my Delta app 2 days ago that your flight to London Heathrow is boarding within 24 hours. And it really struck me that I would have been there personally. And I have not been to England in a very long time, but the last time I was there was really one of the highlights of seeing all the wonderful people and sort of being in the different neighborhoods. And so I'm sorry I can't be there in person. And I really hope and pray that you guys invite me back, and I have the schus one day for us to be able to get together. And I hope we can do it instead of London or New York. We can hopefully do it in Yerushalayim. This is an interesting period of time right now. And I think people misunderstand the power behind it. I think that what we're going through right now, it's amazing how life parallels itself. It's amazing how what we're going through in the Jewish calendar and what we're going through in life is paralleled almost, it aligns almost completely. For many of us right now, we are living in some form of quarantine, whether it's an official or an unofficial, whether the neighborhood is coming back or still shut down. most of us, if not all of us, are in some measure of confinement of our movement. And what's interesting is that the period of time that we're in right now, which is the Omer, which is the period of time between Passover and between Shavuot, Shavuos, when the Jews came out of Egypt and when the Jews went to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, that period of time was really a quarantine. The Dead Sea, the Red Sea, right? Yam Suf was just a few miles, if that much, from Mount Sinai. And the Jews crossed through the Red Sea just a few days after they leave Egypt. And after they're done, and it's awesome, right? And God takes them out, and it's a year of miracles. He walks them to the sea. He splits the sea, right? This is the best Passover program you can dream of. They come out the other side, and they're rocking and rolling. They're dancing and singing, right? They're pointing up to God. They're saying, this is insane. This is incredible. My life's amazing. I love being a Jew. I believe, I believe, I believe. It's a one-day walk. God could have walked them down to Mount Sinai in a day, but he has them basically quarantined. We're talking about 2 million people in one little expanse of the desert. Sitting there. They move around a little bit, but sitting there in between the clouds of glory for 40 plus days. Why? Why would he do that for? What is he waiting for? You pick the nation, you walk them out, you split the sea. You want to give them the book. We know that's true. We want to give them the source of wisdom that we're still learning from to this day. Why in the world did God have them quarantined into a desert and just hanging out for 40 plus days? That's what we're going through. That's where we are. We're in this sort of, what it feels like, this sort of stagnant zone of, it's spring, I want to get out, we got what to do. Why is God containing us? So I want to share with you a concept. You've heard this before. If you've heard this before, I apologize, but I really want to see if together, just for a few minutes that we have together, the few minutes that I have here before you go on to the rest of this beautiful program. So I want to share with you a concept in growth, in greatness. One of the most powerful forces that we have in our own journey of greatness, and that applies across everything. As a spouse, as a parent, as a child, as a community member, as an employee, employer, as a Jew, you name it. One of the most powerful aspects of our lives is something called inspiration. Inspiration is this thing that we get almost spontaneously. It's like you stumble upon it. You ever feel that way? That like you go to a bar mitzvah or a wedding or a bris and you see something and like something just changes like an electric current. You hear a song, you hear a speech. Maybe, unfortunately, God forbid, you go to a funeral, a levaya, and you see how they're speaking about that person and something takes place inside you. It's as if there's like this new power source that you have. And it's like, it almost provides a clarity of what you want to be doing next. Do you ever get that feeling? Where you all of a sudden say, I should really eat healthier. I should really call my mom more. I should really be a better spouse. I should spend more time with my children. I should give more charity. I should be more giving to my community. And it almost feels like somebody like turned on the switch inside you. And for those first few days after you got that feeling, that sense, it feels like it's like a new you. You get up earlier and you go to the gym and you're nice to your family more and you read the book to your kids 16 times. And like, you just look around, you're like, where was I all my life? But then like always, that feeling, as quick as it comes, it fades. And as much as we take 2 steps forward, we take 2 steps back. And round we go. Why is that? Because there's 2 different types of motivation, of inspiration. And we confuse them. The way growth works is that each and every one of us, every moment of our lives, has 2 warring factions. Inside me and inside you are two, if you will, opposing entities. This is a concept that we find in Kabbalah a lot, or any level of spirituality. We have a soul, and that soul is a ray, a piece of the divine. It's infinite. Our eyes aren't open because all the parts fit into place and someone plugged us in. Our eyes are open because what's sustaining us, the energy that is within us, is a piece of the divine. It's infinite spiritual energy. And that energy wants to be great. And that piece of us wants to be the best we be. It wants to take this world and elevate it. It wants to get up at the right time. It wants to eat the right foods. It wants to say the right words. It doesn't want to be threatened or insecure or worried. It wants to take every moment in life and be joyful and be selfless. It's intangible. It's spiritual. It's not subject to this world. But right next to it, we have a body. The body is the avatar in which we navigate the world. The body has another way of living. This comes from our survival. This is like the default mechanism of our brains. Our brain, we've been given by God the ability to survive. Greatness is a choice. You have to override the system. And to survive, the body knows how to survive instinctively. Survival requires to be more selfish, to hoard food when there's scarcity, to sleep as much as we can, to stay away from things that make us uncomfortable, to not give when we can take. And you're seeing it even now. People that are very body driven, as soon as there's any little level of risk, they're clearing out shopping markets. They're focused on oneself. There's people in their relationships that they're not worried about what they say, because who cares about their feelings? This is our lives. The battle of survival or greatness. The body or the soul. Do I give or do I take? Am I here to give my spouse the best life, or is he or she here to give me the best? Is my job to raise the children in the image of God, or for them to look just like me and make me feel comfortable? Do I want to reach up to God, or do I sit back and wait for him to like poof a miracle and reach down to me? This is the battle of life. Do I eat to survive, or do I eat to thrive? And our body and soul battle all day. Survive or be great. And then something happens from the outside. And we get a flash where life slows down for a drop. And we see something. And just like that, like it's if like our soul has a little bit of a window that opens up. And we look at the same world, but we see it from the eyes of the soul. You ever sit in a funeral and you hear someone get up there and you're there and they're very wealthy and they're a benefactor, and the person gets up and says, the reason why I'm so moved because he was the greatest father and he was there, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I gotta be a better parent. At that moment, what's going on in your mind, your body? There's a window that opens up, and now you're seeing the same family that you're living in, but this time you're seeing it a little bit more like a soul. Inspiration is the moment in which you're giving expression to your soul. The reason why it feels inspiring is because the soul is an intangible energy, and it feels different when you're living from the soul than when you're living from the body. The body comes from the ground, and so even if it's being stimulated, it's a very surface stimulation. You ever eat a big meal? It feels good while it's going down, then you feel gross. Do you ever do something for somebody else? It may hurt to give that $1, but once you let it go, you get this like little electric charge. Love feels different than lust. Body, soul. And here's how it works. I'll be done in a minute. Stick with me just a few more minutes. Every once in a while, we're living like a body, whatever level we're on. This isn't like an on and off. This is the gradations of life. We'll never become a full soul alive, and we'll never become a full body if we're breathing and we're decent to people. Life is the gray in between. Every once in a while, God will hand us a gift, an external inspiration to get us to see who we are. But it's fleeting. It's not ours. Things that aren't ours, that don't last. You can't live on the gifts of even God. I mean, we live on gifts of God, but God doesn't want us to be like that. He wants us to earn it. So you know what he does? He gives us a few seconds of it, and then he pulls it from us. And he says, now do something to clean off that window yourself. You saw what you saw? You experienced it? That's called a gift. External inspiration is a gift. And I'm going to pull it in a couple of minutes. Before I pull it, do something that's going to take you one step closer to what you saw. Because if you act based on what you've seen, based on what you feel, based on what you know to be true, and all the excuses of I can't, and I'm tired, and who said so, and what if I get taken advantage of, and I don't have enough, if you just break through all the excuses and you condition yourself and do it every single day to get closer, what you're doing is you're actually, not only are you getting in the light, you're cleaning the window so that the light shines from in out. This is in Judaism called awakening from above versus awakening from below. And when you can start to shine your light out, you go from external inspiration to internal inspiration. That's inspiration you have when you feel like you're accomplishing something worthwhile. That's the inspiration you have when you look at the child after everybody thought that he couldn't do anything and you believed in him, and you're at his graduation and you can't stop bringing yourself to get choked up. That's the inspiration you get when you look over to a spouse who you've invested your life into, and the love that you have between the two of you is something that you can't even describe. That's the inspiration you have when you look up at God and know that you've been talking to him every single day, whether you like it or not, and now you're in a moment of pain and you know he's listening to you. It's internal. It doesn't come and go. It's with you forever. God says, listen, I need you to be a people that's eternal. This isn't a fly-by-night gig. I didn't pick you out of Egypt for like 15 minutes. You're not a Yavusi. I'm going to walk you out of Egypt. I'm going to split that sea. It's going to be inspiring. I'm God. I'm a pretty good producer. I got this. You want to see something sick? Boom. And you're going to dance and sing. But let me tell you something. You think I'm walking you down to get the Torah now? What are you going to think? Every day I got to inspire you again? Not how it works. Here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm putting you in quarantine. Yeah, a desert, nothing going on. First day's cool, second day's cool, third day you're like, what am I doing here? Because if you can grow on your own without stimulus and get better every day and learn every day and work on your attributes every day, you can pick things, and even though you're not being inspired, you can change yourself. You know what's going to happen when you step up into that mountain on Mount Sinai when I give you the book? I know and you know that you've got internal inspiration and you'll be mine forever. I can inspire you, but only you can make yourself eternal. That's where we are. We're not in a place where we're being quarantined to stop us from growing. We're in a place of quarantine to make us grow, to build us into growers, to make us in an environment, to put us in an environment where the running of life slows down so we can actually work on ourselves, so we can stop distracting ourselves from the real work that has to go on, so we can look over that person in our home or that thing within ourselves. And we can say, wait, what are the things that I should be doing right now? I'm doing them every single day, nonstop. Because I want to feel inspired in quarantine. I want to feel like I'm living in an incredible life, even though my four walls are containing me. Because it can contain my body, but it can't contain my soul. My blessing to each and every one of you is that we become these people. You know, I got to tell you, this is why I wanted to be there. Seed, from what I understand, is an incredible organization. It does incredible work with young families all through the UK. They're a resource for parenting, for schools, and for those that are searching for Jewish learning and growth. They're a tremendous communal organization. These are the moments where they don't need to bring people together live to be supported. We don't have to give only when there's a laser light show and when they split the sea. We give because that's what we do. We give. We give to organizations that are trying to help us. We habituate that in quarantine so that it becomes a piece of us forever. I don't need to be inspired to give. I give because I live with my soul, because it's internally inspiring. My blessing to this incredible group from all over, that me and you should take the lessons that we're in right now. We shouldn't be sitting in our homes and looking over this saying, when is this over? It'll be over when God said it'll be over. We should look in our homes and look inward and go, how can I take advantage of where I am right now? We should be healthy and well, but we also should be growing. How do I make myself bigger and better in my life every day? Because if I do, I'm making inspiration internal. And when I get out of here and I get to inspire myself in a bigger way, I'll be so much further up the mountaintop. My best wishes for me and mine to you and yours. May we have a great Omer. May we climb the mountain. May we support organizations like this. May we see a time where we get to walk around and not only be externally motivated and inspired, but internally inspired, so we can become the eternal people that we're meant to be. Thank you for the time.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Charlie. You know, it's funny because you say that inspiration comes in a spontaneous way, but so often I find I get inspired after listening to you. So thank you for that.
Thank you for your kindness.
A wise person once told me that an organization can only grow as big as the people at the head, people at the top. And Seed are blessed to have some amazing people at the head. One of them being our very own Rabbi Malcolm Herman, who inspires us every single day. Rabbi Herman, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for those very kind words. And I want to say, I don't know if Charlie is still with us, but Charlie, I count myself as one of your many, 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 many fans. We listen to you, and you've become, as we quote you every year, please God, you shouldn't give a shir this Tisha B'Av.
Amen.
You should give a welcome to Yerushalayim this Tisha B'Av.
Amen. That's a great bracha. That's a great bracha.
Yeah, but we've listened to you every year on Tisha B'Av afternoon. As a family, you inspire so many. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I was hoping to meet you personally. Please God on another occasion.
Well, we will.
So friends, Charlie's participated in the campaign, and now all of you listening, it's your chance to participate in the campaign. If you're a beneficiary of Seed, it's your opportunity to give back. If you're a fan of Seed, it's your chance to contribute. If you believe in our mission, it's your chance to partner us and share us in that mission. Our mission is quite simply to give life tools to Jewish families to inspire them. Now, if you check on our website, you will see that we are incredibly 50% of the way there to our target. But let me make it absolutely clear that the target that we set is part of our annual budget. And we are really looking to exceed this target over the next 30 hours to sustain us, to maintain us, and to allow us to continue to give to you and to thousands of other people and hundreds of families across the UK. So please keep going. Let's keep the energy flowing. Let's take Charlie's wonderful words and really make this a spectacular 30 hours for all of us and for Klal Israel. Thank you so much.